Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable of the speaker who attended the national webinar today, honorable our participant who attended the national webinar today. Welcome and thank you for coming today at the national webinar with the theme Education at the COVID-19 pandemic. Before the event starts, let me introduce myself. I'm Nelisa Ada as the Master of Ceremony this morning. And I will introduce speaker at the webinar today. For the first speaker is Ms. Anindya Pradipta Hutami and the second speaker is Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim Masudi. And also I want to say good morning and welcome to our speaker at the webinar today. Okay, I as Master of Ceremony will read the agenda for this event today. The first agenda is opening. We will start at 8 o'clock to 8:30 o'clock. The second agenda is presentation of material as well as question and answer at 8:30 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And the last agenda is closing at 10 o'clock to end. Okay, entering the first agenda, which is the opening. Let's open it by reading Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The next agenda is presentation of material as well as question and answer. And for this session, we'll guide by our moderator, Ms. Nerissa Narota Molvia. For Ms. Nerissa Narota Molvia, time is yours.
Thank you for the Master of Ceremony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honorable of the speakers who attended the national webinar today, and honorable all participants who have joined us at this national webinar. My name is Nerissa Nadrota Molvia, the moderator of today. I'm very happy to see you here and welcome all of you to this national webinar. Today's webinar is about education at the pandemic, and we have two fantastic presenters. Allow me to introduce the first speaker. She is Miss Dipta, the complete name Anindya Pradipta Hutami. She lives in Gotong Royong Street, Babat Lamongan. Educational background, Babat Middle School, Babat High School. She took a bachelor degree in University Islamic of Darul Ulum Lamongan, master degree in University Melbourne, and doctor degree in Oxford University. This status single, job, lecturer in University Islamic of Darul Ulum Lamongan. Phone number 085816598 681. And she will explain about strategy of post-pandemic creative education. Miss Dipta, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Anindya Pradipta and you can call me Dipta. I would like to say thank you for the audience and for the committee that already invite me in this discussion. And then talk about the material. As we know, the title is Strategy of the Post-Pandemic Creative Education. It means we will talk about how to develop the education and make education will be more creative about learning, teaching, and something like that to face the post-pandemic situation. Let's move to the first point, is about review. We will have a give review or check again about learning target to be achieved, because in the pandemic situation it will different with post-pandemic situation. So we already have a concern based on or take a note based on the post-pandemic situation or condition in some area. And then going to the next point is about make new strategy and take note about new goals to be achieved. Why? Because in the post-pandemic situation, also people can change their habit about learning or teaching. For example, from the online learning to be face-to-face learning again. Let me give the example. Teacher or lecturer can make a outside class, so the teacher can give the instruction for student to make a class in the outside. Teacher can take a video from their learning process and then upload in some social media, for example in YouTube and Instagram, to make their student can reply again their material in that class, and also make the teacher more creative and make the interesting class for student. Okay, the next point is about implement all of the plan, and I have the example in that creative idea. As we know, some application that popular in the pandemic era that actually is really useful to make a student learning by themselves. For example, the application that concerned with education is about Ruang Guru. In Ruang Guru, students can learn by themselves until the student have a good understanding from the material. So it's a great deal to make a student interesting with learning process. In post-pandemic situation, we have a face-to-face class, right? So it's related with some point before. After the teacher upload their video, taking video in their class first and then upload in social media, I think the government or some people that have a power to control education in our country can make or create a new application that can accept the video from the teachers. So the video from teacher for all of the teacher can include in the application, and then student can easily to rewatch again their video in their class. So I think this method will be increase the interesting student with the learning process in that class. Okay, let's move to the last point, is about evaluation. This is also most important point because in that point we can have advantages and disadvantages that really useful to improve our method or strategy from the learning process in that class. That's all my explanation before. I'm sorry if I have a mistake. I'm M.Pd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, now we move to the second presenter. He is Mr. Bara. The complete name Ahmad Ibrahim Masudi. He live in Sawahan Sukomulyo, Lamongan. Educational background: Sukomulyo Elementary School, Putra Putri Lamongan Middle School, Matolibul Anwar High School. He took a bachelor degree in University Islamic of Darul Uloom Lamongan and master degree in University of Indonesia. Started single job lecturer in University of Islamic Darul Uloom Lamongan. Phone number 089 560 6196844. He will explain about maximizing media for education during the pandemic. Okay, Mr. Bara, time is yours.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Ibrahim Masudi, and I want to explain about maximizing media in learning in pandemic era. Okay, firstly, you must to choose what media will you use to your learning, and you make sure the media is sustainable for the learning, like online learning or offline learning. Second, make your material in your media. But before that, try to understanding the media so that in the future you are not confused in using it. Third, if you finish material, you should to make tutorial how to use the media for your student. Make simple tutorial so that they can understand. And last, let your student work on study the material in it. Okay? If you have online class, you can use YouTube to up your material and your student see that, or use Zoom to discuss anything about the material. So I think enough from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for all presenter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the question and answer session. We open up 2 questions. Don't forget to mention your name and your question.
Okay, I want to ask for Miss Anindya. What needs to be prepared in the development of education after the pandemic? Thank you.
Okay, Miss Dipta, ready to answer? Please answer the question.
Okay, thank you for your good question. I will mention the question before. The question is what we need to be prepared in the development of education after the pandemic. When we talk about develop, I think this is also talk about the government, because the government still have a power to control education in our country, right? But as the student, especially you as a student in the college, you must be give the big concern to have a roles to make changes for the education in our country. And then let's move to the question again. But we need to be prepared. First, we need to have a concern, because if we don't have a concern with education, it's really hard to understand. And then the second point is about review. You must be know about the situation or condition education in your area, because I talk about the development in education in post-pandemic era in your area especially. And the next is about create the plan. If you want to make something big, you must have a good plan first. So that's why you need to take a note what the plan that you want to be implement the next. And then the next is about do your plan. This is also important point, because if you can do all of your plan, so you can know for the real condition, and you can make sure what they needs, or make something new idea when you know for real in that place. Okay, and then the next is about evaluation. If you already do all of the point and you going to the evaluation, you can know what the disadvantages from your plan, so you can improve again your plan, or maybe you can change with another idea. And with the advantages, you can improve again, you can give a good idea again, until you can have a good strategy to develop the education in post-pandemic era. So that's why my answer. I'm sorry if I have a mistake for answer the question. Thank you.
Next, second question, please.
I wanted to ask for Mr. Ibrahim. My question is, what media can be used for learning in the pandemic era. Thank you.
Please, Mr. Bara, to answer the question.
Okay, I want to answer about the question. What media can use to learning in pandemic? I think you can use Zoom or Koizo to make quiz, YouTube to upload your material, or Google Meet to discuss something like that.
Finally, we come to the end of this session. I would like to say thank you to the presenter for their informative and interesting presentation, and all the participants for their active participation. I'm sorry if I have some mistake. We go back to the Master of Ceremony.
So today's national webinar may be useful for all of you, and thank you for your patience in this webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.